Alrighty, welcome to the Final Fantasy TCG National Championships. I'm joined by Sam. Thank you for joining us on New Game Plus TV. How are you doing?
No worries, I'm doing pretty good.
So this is you were saying before, this is actually the first game that you've been a judge for. This is the first
Yes.
card game you've ever played.
Yes, aside from Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon as a kid, as pretty much everyone did, this is my first. I've been playing
I
this-
guess as an
yeah.
adult, your first game as an adult as well.
Yeah.
And I guess, so that offers you a unique perspective. Some of the other people we've spoken to obviously have had previous experience with things. So how do you find it being like the game that you play, the specific game that you play?
The specific game that I play. It's been really fun to learn.
Yeah.
And as the new sets have come out, went from just playing like for fun and building whatever I wanted.
Yeah.
Looked into a bit of the metagame, bit how the better players played. I looked at the different deck types, and there's so much variety. There's a playstyle for pretty much everyone, and it's just really exciting trying them all out, seeing what fits you.
So I guess the next thing we have is our next match is ready to start. We have Niels versus, who's the other guy?
Chris Mattiske.
Chris Mattiske. So if we can switch over to the game now, we can commentate that. Oh no, we've got a few minutes there. No, we're in. All right, so Niels, and so explain to us what's going on. So we had Barry before explain how the game kind of works with forwards, backups, and summons is
Yes.
the strata. So do you know these guys well? Do you know their play styles?
I don't know these guys well. I know Chris is from Adelaide.
Yep.
I know he's been a very good player. He's been very consistent. And I have to say, I don't really know Niels, at least not by name.
Right. So can you elicit anything from what you see on the board at the moment?
On the board at the moment? Well, I've had a look at the deck lists, and it seems like it's going to be a very interesting matchup. Niels is running 50 forwards, no backups, no summons.
Oh, really? So you're just going like straight ham? Like...
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
wow.
good. He's running one colour, so that means he'll definitely have consistency.
Yeah.
He'll have his colours all sorted. But Chris is running a couple of cards that will shut his deck right down if he gets it. A one drop of the Emperor completely negates all of the special abilities that Niels would want to do with running 50 forward. So if he draws the Emperor and Niels has no answer, then Niels is going to have a hard time winning the game.
Right. Yeah. So Chris has more of like that kind of, he's relying on a particular card to come out for him to win the game.
Yeah. Even then, he has a lot of big guys. He has a lot of guys who can stay on the board and just stay there and stop Niels from doing much.
Right. Okay. So it's what kind of a semi-control deck you would say, like or is he just kind of compared to the aggressive style of?
It's definitely more control in comparison to Niels' deck.
Right. Okay. So have you played against Chris before, or you just know him
I've
from...
never played against Chris.
Okay.
He's just flown in from Adelaide, and being a Victoria player, I've never had the chance to play against him.
Right. And so you guys would have done regionals before this, coming into this. So
Yeah, we
each
would have done a
state
couple of
had its
regionals.
thing? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So and then apparently there's some New Zealanders here as well. So.
Apparently, yeah.
Yeah, I did hear that. So that's great to know as well. So if you're watching us across the Tasman, hello. But it seems like the guys have they're kind of finally getting into it. We've got Chris has taken a little bit of damage there. On the, I'll move that out of the
Oh,
way
yeah,
for
there
you.
we are.
Yeah. And so we've got Niels on 1 damage, and we've got Chris on 3 damage at the moment. Is that something Chris wants? Barry was explaining to me earlier the idea of EX bursts and stuff. Like, does Chris have that kind of a deck, or is it just he's taken 3 damage?
He's taken 3 damage. Once he actually gets his backups up, once he gets his field sorted, then Niels will have a hard time getting through, especially if, as I said, Chris draws into the Emperor and manages to play it.
Right, yep, okay.
I can't see many EX bursts. Oh no, that's the wrong Shiver. No, not many EX bursts at all. So he can afford to take damage, but
Right.
he could have one of his key cards going to damage. So
Right, so, and again, that is a risk. That is probably one of the big things with Final Fantasy is you can risk the card that gets damaged might be the Emperor. And
Yeah.
then it's like, well, rip, I'm
and
done.
he only has
So-
1 copy, so that means that he'll have 1 less answer to Niels.
Yeah, and as you say, with Niels with that attacking deck, it makes sense that he's just coming out of the gates, trying to get as much damage on the board as he can.
Yeah. This Kate Sith here, this is one of the cards which 54 does really well.
Alright.
You reveal the top card of your deck, and then if it's a forwards, I can't remember off the top of my head. I have a feeling it's roughly 7,000 damage to all
Right.
of Chris's forwards.
Oh wow, and that's huge because they are. I think they're 7,000.
There's 7,000,
Yeah.
7,000 there, yeah, with no buffs on board. So that would be a board wipe right there.
Wow, there you go. So that's So he obviously he didn't draw a forward then. So we're lucky in that front, or
Well, Neil seems to only have 1 card in hand, and with no backups, he's going to be discarding a lot of cards from hand, meaning he has less resources in hand, potentially.
Yep.
Meaning the Chris might not have to be so worried about Niels having hand tricks.
Right. So.
Chris just put down the Vincent and the free Yuffie. This is good now. Chris has a 9k with Brave, so Vincent will be able to both attack and defend.
Right, so he's finally got that, I guess, that kind of tank on the board, if you will, like something that can just kind of sponge up a bit of that damage.
And then Vincent's special. It's a bit pricey, but you get to break forwards with a cost totaling up to 7. So potentially he has a board wipe right there.
Right, nice. This is always the interesting part. You see the hands doing the negotiations.
Yeah.
And, we can't hear them.
You
but
can't
we
hear
see
what's
the
going
hands.
on, yeah.
So, and yeah, it's interesting to see that Chris has a lot more in his hand than Niels seems to.
All right, we see Niels here using the Kate Sith ability.
Oh.
Chris double checking. I'd be double checking as well. It's a forward.
So bam, bam, bam.
Bam, bam, bam. Yeah, it seems like 7k to everything. Because for Noah
Niels.
breaks, all of his forwards are dulled. But honestly, I reckon that's not too big of a deal for Niels at the moment.
No, well, I mean, yeah, it's not like he's running out of forwards anytime soon.
He also has this Aemon. Aemon's active ability to dull, and in order to dull one of Chris's forwards, so he can potentially open the way to attack with more forwards.
Oh, okay, yep, okay. So that was it kind of exactly what you said happened, and I guess this is a really good card for Niels' very aggressive forward deck, where he's gonna draw a forward. Like,
Yeah.
Let's be real. Like, there's
there's no
he
question
doesn't have
about it.
anything else, yeah.
If
So-
it was maybe like 2 summons in there, which some people do, then I understand having to check. But this is like, there's a forward. It's guaranteed a forward. Just clear your board, please.
Yeah. Please just take those and put them in the bin. Thank you. So we have him. He seems like he's trying to build up again, but I don't know. It's the damage hasn't changed, which is something at the very least. But
Yeah.
I don't know that. How long does that stay the case for?
I see Chris has a Jill in hand, but he also has one on board as well, so he can't play it. Otherwise, he'd be able to freeze those so they don't activate during Niels' next turn.
Oh, okay.
Which would have been amazing in this case.
Well, it would have worked very well for him. Yeah, exactly.
Trying to see what else he has in hand.
So you with regards to the power, I guess it's power levels.
Yep.
So if you don't exceed or match a power level, they still stay on the board. So it's not like you can do 7,000 damage, then there's 2,000 left. It's you have to be higher than them, kind of thing. Or
You can deal 7,000 damage. Say if something has 9,000 power, you can deal a 7,000 damage, and then if you can find a way to deal that 2,000 damage later on,
yeah.
then it clears.
So it does. So it does
Yeah.
accumulate over.
It does accumulate, but
Okay.
then kind of like magic, it refreshes at the end.
Right.
Kind of
okay.
resets.
Yep. No worries.
Alright, what we've got here. Niels doesn't look like he has much to work with.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess that is the problem with like a one-trick deck. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like it either works or it doesn't, and when it doesn't, it doesn't. So
Yeah.
And we see Chris going through his graveyard. Has he got something that allows him to do that? He keeps checking it. Like, I don't know.
I think he might potentially be double checking what he's discarded to plan for further moves.
Yeah, right. So he's kind of weighing up what's already gone so then he doesn't
I see
count on it later.
I see he has a Chantal in hand, so if need be, he can completely wipe all forwards from the field, which would be very good, because if Niels manages to build up his board, which he has a lot of low-cost forwards, if it gets too scary, Chris can pop that down and completely reset all the forwards.
Oh, okay.
And
Nice.
because Chris has more he has backups, and Niels doesn't, it's going to be harder for Niels to build back up again.
Yeah, of course.
So he might be double checking to see how many Shantados he's discarded, to see if he can discard to because it's a 7 cost. It's a very costly backup.
Yeah. And it is interesting to see, obviously, the like all the different games kind of coming together. Like there's a Squall, and we saw Zidane before and stuff like that. Whoa, he's getting the Chotomate hand. Oh, the explanation. You gotta love the animation in the hands.
Yeah.
He's getting the full stop.
If only I knew what they were saying. I am really interested now.
So what's? I mean, he's playing his Squall, and he's also. So you guys call it dulling, don't you?
Yes.
I'll remember that. I'll try to remember that anyway. So
Okay,
he's
it looks like he's Chris is using the death penalty Vincent. Yes, yep, that's 5 and a Vincent. And he's cleared out Aemon and Kate Sith.
Oh wow. Okay. So that's where it was explained that with you sacrifice, you obviously you get 2 mana. Is that correct, or is it 1?
If you sacrifice, it's 2 mana from hand, but tapping back up on the board, that's 1 point.
Okay.
Okay, I see what's happened. He attacked with Squall, and then in response to him attacking, he cleared out Aemon and cleared out Kate Sith, so that Niels couldn't block with Aemon and dull Vincent to stop another attacker.
Yep.
Because obviously Chris retains priority until he passes
the end of his
over.
turn. Yeah, yeah.
So he was just making sure that his Squall would survive. Freya, I don't think that's going to be doing much for Niels at the moment, but he has haste, so it's another point of damage in.
Yeah, no, why not?
And it looks like Niels has no hand at the moment, so Chris would have absolutely nothing to be worried about.
I guess that is the big advantage that you face is, like you said, is he's got nothing, like no damage ready to turn. And so he's done a point of damage straight away there.
He's done another point of damage there.
He's done 2. Alright, this is starting to turn into...
It's starting to turn into a bit of a base race.
Yeah.
Okay, he has a guy there. That's good.
So what does Guy offer him that he didn't have before?
Guy, he has Brave.
Yep.
He's a 4-drop AK, so that's on a power curve.
Yep.
And he also could not be dulled by any effects. So, for example, Aemon, which dulls, he will not be able to dull Guy on entry.
So
he
got
has
a true strike kind of thing. He'll always do what he wants to do kind of thing.
Yeah, he's always going to be able to defend.
Right.
Okay, what have we got here? Yep, attack with Guy.
One more damage there. So it's attacking with Squall now as well.
Yep.
So he's on to 5 damage. Attacking with Vincent, 6 damage. So we've got Chris on 4 damage and Niels on 6 damage. So he's reading Freya now.
I do not think the Niels can come back from this now.
It's the one-trick pony hasn't worked.
Yeah. If you drew into one of the Gilgamesh's, who also works off of the all forwards deck,
Yep.
if it's a forward, then choose one forward and break it straight up.
Right. Okay.
So he has a free break. That Gilgamesh also has Brave, so he can attack and then in response use that ability to dull it, so he gets through damage as well.
So okay, I get you. Yep. So
Yep.
like you say, I think it's just
I just think he didn't draw his key cards.
I mean, yeah, is there still a chance? So there we are. So will that be
Another blocker. Let's say he lets Freya get through. Cecil, when Chris takes a point of damage, he gets to deal 5,000 damage to one of Niels' forwards.
Okay.
And that's enough to kill this Freya.
So he's drawn his 2. He's having a look. I mean, at this point, I don't know you got a lot of block on the board.
Yep. Nope. That's game.
GG. And we're calling it. So that is 7-4. Chris takes that. So that's the scoreline there. And as it was explained, you guys are using like damage taken as a tiebreaker.
Yep,
so
that'll be the
kind of
second form of tiebreaker. We use the strength
yeah.
of schedule first, and then we go to damage dealt as a tiebreaker.
Right, okay. So I guess it is important that you don't just get blown out. You want to make sure that you've got as much damage on the board as you can against your opponent before they wipe you out.
Yeah, it's made one card very, I guess, I'd say not viable. It's still viable, but you dull it, and you deal yourself 1 point of damage, deal 7,000 damage to a forward.
Right, yep.
But in the case that we have damage as tiebreakers, you've taken more damage from winning. So you could potentially get bumped down, because we'll have a lot of 6-1s. A lot that will try and make top 8, and quite a few that won't. Yep. And you want to be up the top of that 6-1 bracket to make top 8.
It reminds me a lot of even just standard sports like AFL and things like that, where you want to have as high a percentage as possible.
Yeah.
Because that might be the difference. You might both have the same amount of points that you've scored over the course of the year, but that extra 2 points of percentage will be what puts you over the line. So, so I guess that is the big thing here. So we're only on our second round. We've got 7 rounds of Swiss cut, I believe.
Yes, I believe.
So, so you guys are going. Is it a different kind of Swiss cut to say what Pokemon Nationals do or something like that, or is it?
I have no idea about Pokemon Nationals, so I can't help.
Right, fair. So you guys are going 7 rounds of Swiss, using your tiebreakers to work out who then goes through, and then it's a top 8.
Then we'll do top 8, best of 3.
Best of 3. So that will be best of 3. So we're going best of 1s at the moment as a kind of the part of the cut. So when we are in top 8, every match is best of 3s?
Every match will be best of 3, and I believe it'll also be untimed, so we have no chance of going a round going to a tie.
Right, okay, so well, there we go. I guess for now we'll take a break until we've got the next round up. Sam, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
We'll hopefully have you back for the finals as well.
Hopefully.
And we'll see you guys again very soon.
Bye.